この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here this evening for EVA, Evangelion episode 21. And in the version that I have downloaded, this is the first episode that is listed as DC or Director's Cut. So it is a bit longer than the other aired versions. It is about 29 minutes long. So we are in for a ride. We're in the good stuff now. We're in the weird stuff now. We had some really strange visual imagery, some strange experiences that we shared with Shinji while he dissolved into quantum nothingness inside the LCL of the EVA. And that's where we left off. Shinji has reappeared, he's back. He's a real boy again. And I don't know what we do now. I don't know what happens. The old dudes sitting around the table are not happy with Gendo, because things have not gone according to plan. But they somehow managed to contain the rampaging unit 01 and get it back into restraints of some kind. Somehow. I don't really know. I want to get into this. Before we do, I want to mention a couple of things. My mic is on the fritz. It's dying, and it intermittently creates this horrible, weird, staticky, like whooshy, muffly noise, and I don't know why, and I can't prevent it. So if we have that happening during this audio track, I have a camcorder sitting right in front of me, right here, right next to the webcam, and it's got like a pretty okay shotgun microphone on top of it that is pointed at my face. So if worst comes to worst, I'll use the audio track from that and rip it out and sync it up. And what the fuck are you doing? Okay, it wasn't recording, I guess. Okay, please don't do that again, camera. Anyway, I've got a camcorder sitting right here, and it's got a shotgun microphone on it that picks up pretty good audio quality, and it's just pointed straight at my face. So if the audio coming out of this doesn't work, I'll do what I can to try to sync that up, and we'll use that audio. So if you notice weird changes and shifts in the audio, it's because I'm switching between the audio tracks or something. Otherwise, hopefully we just don't get the weird muffly problem that I've been getting, because it's been really intermittent and weird and strange, but it can really fuck up the audio track. So we've got this backup going on. I'm going to be looking to pick up a replacement microphone, just something inexpensive but workable, as soon as I possibly can. But I cannot afford a new microphone right now, which kind of sucks. So this has been giving me quite a headache all day, all week, honestly. It's been But anyway, chill stuff. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you're not subbed and you want more, you might want to sub, because this is what I do. And if you are subbed and YouTube isn't letting you know that my videos exist, the bell can maybe help with that a little bit sometimes if you're lucky. If you really like this content or want to support this channel and help me get food, and in this case a new microphone, patreon.com/Teeaboo is a place where you can go and give me money, and I can give you Discord access and early access and the ability to vote on what I watch next and stuff like that. It's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, if you want to support me in what I'm doing, it's greatly appreciated. There should have been a shout out at the beginning. I've switched up my shout out format to be a little bit of a joke. Not a joke at all. Thank you, GK. I really appreciate you for supporting me. Same thing to Colin. Yeah, double shout out. What's up? Okay, there will be a bunch of versions of the video. So there'll be this version on YouTube with the timer. It'll have a beep timer, and you probably know how those work by now. Then there will be a version up on BitChute and Mega, with the full thing in the thing that I will link in the description. So if you want those, you can go and get them. Yeah. I think that's about it. Let's get into EVA. Episode 21. If you're watching this on YouTube, there will be a beep beep timer. It'll go boop 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 beep, and on the beep and the green light, that's the same frame that Ava starts playing on my screen. There will also be notes on screen. And I took note of some comments about how I was taking notes, and I agree with them, honestly. I'm trying too hard to write everything down, which is kind of ridiculous when I end up going through the whole episode in the post-ep anyway. So I'm going to dial it back and just, like, note things that I find interesting and use it as a way to express my thoughts on stuff. Still, taking notes is just, while I'm watching stuff, is just something that I do, like, regardless of whether I'm doing it on YouTube or whatever. Not that there's anything that I'm watching that I don't record, but I almost always take notes on stuff because it's, like, how I remember things. Yeah. Like, I'm prone to forgetting things by the end of a 20-minute episode, so, yeah, I like taking notes. Anyway, I'll dial it back a little bit and try to focus, and I won't be trying to, like, write down everything that everybody says. So, thanks for the comments. I do appreciate them. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Beep beep timer goes here. This is old footage. Oh. Is this that image that we saw just a flash of? Oh, fuck that, please. I think that's the first time we've gotten a scene but for the Zanko, or the Cruel Angel's thesis. Oh, director's cut, here we go. Kaji trying to call Misato? Yep. The vice commander? Kaji. Not Kaji? Hand on his gun? Huh. Is that... Been a while since you've been called that, huh? Wow, okay. Drinking with students. Metaphysical biology, okay. Oh. Who was he before? Wow. He looks very different without a beard. Is that a police officer's waist? Probably. Yeah. So what will cause that to change? No seasons. Gendo. Or Yui. Aww. His slight smile is very unnerving. Do tell, Fuyutsuki. Do tell. She looks a lot like Rei. She speaks like Rei too. That young Gendo pose is amazing. I figured you out. So who left the cavern? Is this the geofront? It is. Poured into that facility. Is that her mother? So the best of the best are being dragged in. Or pulled in. So she's dyed her hair. Young Ritsuko with the dot. The little mole. He was aware that he was still a child. Who? Who was that? Ah, she's so young. It's Kaji. Wow. Oh my god, this is so cool. Let's get here. A warning? I see. She's very much like Rei. Yeah, but what is he doing here? What circumstances? He's full Gendo now. The glasses. Wow, that cross of darkness coming out of him. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So we get this conversation. Okay. Got a whoosh coming in. Hi, Ray. Sup? Is Shinji there? Is that Shinji? Must be. With the headphones. It is Shinji. Go fly me to the moon really slow. I think I would have preferred fool as the translation there. But okay. Yeah, you can't comfort her, Shinji. Fuck. This is not Fly Me to the Moon. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Man, that raspy bass. It's pretty dope. No. Okay. Oh, 29 minutes of exposition and backstory, and it was amazing. Zoom in the notes and scroll the notes up. Oh man, yeah, we start with this double subbed, two conversations going on at the same time. Difficult to know what the timelines are. It seems like the conversation between, I think it's Gendo and Fuyutsuki, is happening in present time, and then the conversation, or the stuff that's on the recording is from back then, of course. So that's my guess. And this is a recording from the events, like the minute leading up to Second Impact, right? We saw the flash of that before in the episode where we first saw the Second Impact and got Misato's backstory. Sphere of Longinus, right? Shipped here from the Dead Sea. Contact experiment with the donor. Is that Adam? Probably. Today's experiment is on the ego threshold signal of that field. Okay, so we've talked about ego thresholds before. Signal of that field, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. But then we move into shit going very, 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 very wrong. They inserted some DNA into Adam, and it fused, and it did a thing. They try to do damage control. Does not work. And then the creature appears. Amazing, it's begun to walk. I don't want to miss it. Spreading its wings, breaking toward the surface. Look like giant hands. And then we cut out. Top secret. Life imprisonment. Wow. Regardless of whether the contents themselves have been examined, just being in contact with them. This is great. This really makes you feel like you're seeing stuff that you shouldn't be seeing. Love it. Then we get the intro. And I was looking, but nothing has changed in the intro. It's the standard one. But I do think this is, as far as I know, this is the first time we get a scene before the intro. Before Cruel Angel's Thesis. Maybe in the first episode. Maybe the first episode opens with cicadas on the on Shinji walking and stuff. Or on the setup of the angel attacking. But I don't remember. In any case, we've got this same payphone set up. Kaji calling in to Misato. Ah, so this is the phone call that becomes the message that she receives. Okay. Okay. It's hung up. My last job. And the card is red like blood. So Fuyutsuki has been abducted. These guys are treating Misato like she's a criminal. This one guy has his hand in his pocket. Right? He's reaching for his gun. Ready to draw on her at an instant's notice. So she pulls her gun and sets it down. Non-confrontational. The sound design on these voices is great. I mean, it's pretty standard modulation-y stuff, but real effective. This one in particular, number 3, sounds really desperate. Yeah. Very interesting. So I was under the impression that or whatever is the same thing as the Human Instrumentality Project Committee. Doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah. Yikes. Okay. Or maybe they are, and they're just hiding behind the name. And we flash back to the year before the second impact. And a whole bunch of this episode is jumping around between times just to give us all of this information, all of this background on all of these characters. On Akagi, on Gendo, on Fuyutsuki, on Misato, on Rei, on Akagi's mother, and on Yui Ikari. Why does Gendo take her name? What's his reason? What does he gain by doing that? Is it because there are always rumors about his name? And so he's able to shed it? Maybe. Yeah, we're introduced naturally to Yui. Reads her paper. Oh, I've gone too far. She really looks like Rei. She sounds like Rei, that's the thing. You know what? Is she the same voice actress as Rei? I would not be surprised if she was. Evangelion. Neon Genesis Evangelion, my anime list. Scroll past the thing to the staff list. Yui Ikari. Megumi Hayashibara. Rei. Megumi Hayashibara. Well, would you look at that? It's the same goddamn voice actress. I wonder if that has any meaning. Nah, they probably just didn't have the budget for another voice actress. Okay, so is Rei a Yui clone? Is Rei a Yui clone? I've got a feeling. She's a bioengineering student. Okay, right. We have no use for an actualized god. So having an S2 engine on board makes EVA Unit 01 an absolute being. Because it can be self-powered essentially perpetually and is kind of conscious and stuff. I don't know about that. But they are real scared of it. We've seen what it can do. It's extremely powerful. So I guess, yeah, if you need a god, that's a good place to point. But part of the reason for disliking this is not just that it's an actualized god, but that it's an actualized god created by that man, Gendo, who they do not trust. I think they think that he'll use the god of his creation to do something untoward. Which I can agree with. And then we are naturally introduced to Gendo. How does this cut work? It's a hard cut off of the, like the kana is still going when they cut to this scene. And it cuts out to the birds. It's really nice. Always some sort of rumor going on around him. Then we meet Gendo, and Gendo is very different. Very different looking guy. He's got some fire in him, you know? Part of it's the glasses, part of it's the beard. Part of it's the lack of, I don't know, depression and like dead man's resolve. Yeah, he definitely got the worst end of the brawl. So. I love this shot. I don't know why I love this shot, but I love this shot. Framing half of Fuyutsuki's face as he walks with Gendo framed in the lower third. Yeah. Gendo's right in rule of thirds, and then okay, so I don't have a way to draw on this. Okay, switching to display capture, and then I'll just do this. Yeah, I think you can see this. I hope you can. If you can't, then fuck. So third of the way across the screen-ish. Yeah, close enough. And then like this. That's a little bit off. It's more like here. Yeah. And then cut you into thirds. And cut you into thirds. Actually, this is a little bit off too. Yeah. That's pretty close-ish. This one should be more like over here, I think. Yeah, that's closer. So hopefully this is actually recording this. Otherwise, I'll edit it in. But if you can see what I just drew, like this is your classic rule of thirds of composition, right? And we end up with Gendo pretty well centered on the corner here, and this eye pretty well centered or pretty close enough to this corner here. So this, just like everything about this shot is aesthetically pleasing to me. It's really cool. Anyway, I really hope you could see that. I'll turn off display capture. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. He's quite a sweet person. Really? He hides that shit deep then. Just that no one knows it. Okay. He's an interesting man, though I can't get to like him. And we still don't really know what changed. What it was that made Fuyutsuki. Because they seem so very close. And Fuyutsuki seems so very loyal to Gendo. In some way. I wonder why. First year was pure hell, right. Sea levels all fucked up. Summer all fucked up. And then he's being shipped out to the new organization. Who recommended me? Gendo did. So then they go back to Antarctica. And again, this is just a really gorgeous classic shot of Gendo. Young Gendo. And again, we've got the composition rule of thirds thing going on here. Gendo's framed right there. And then Fuyutsuki takes up this third of the screen. It's really great. I love the little detail of the clouds moving on the reflection of the window while we are looking through it at the two characters. Something that you could easily leave out, but it gives them a sense of actually moving through the environment on a ship. It's great. Interesting. We get closer and closer to them. So this is his full face framed, and then he's got some space below his chin. He's taking up half the screen, but we're close, close, close. We're much closer to Gendo than we were to Fuyutsuki just a scene ago. You know, full face, space below the chin, no space. We're cutting off the bottom of his chin and the top of his hairline. Really close up to the camera. No clean organization can survive in this day and age anymore. Indeed. Need a dirty organization. Underhanded tricks. This is a mirror of the scene where Shinji was sitting in that room when he was refusing to pilot the EVA, isn't it? I believe it is. Fantastic. I wonder if it's a similar isolation facility, if that's where he was. Then we meet young Misato, and she's traumatized. Terribly traumatized. Also, the way that this room is sort of fisheyed so that it curves, our perspective curves. It's kind of gorgeous. Makes her feel more alone in a certain way. I love the way that these pipes and the rest of the perspective of the shot all I mean, it's standard composition, just that there's a horizon line like here and all lines vanish to it. But to put in all this detail so that it draws us to this point, I think this would be like the point of focus of this scene, right? Like, this is interesting, that he's looking at it is interesting, but this point here between them is quite interesting, as that guy like peers around him. And then she's behind bars and chain link. Yikes. Up to 2003, we meet Yui again. Do we get to see what she's working on? No. We do get to see this title over the lab, though. Artificial Evolution Laboratories. Okay. Chief of Research, and it's Gendo. Why do you hide it? And then we get this, woohoo, young Gendo pose. Pretty dope. But his mouth is showing and he's smiling. That's a little bit different. I think later we get a similar Gendo pose, but it's more like his later Gendo poses where his mouth is covered. And it's a little bit more sinister. So, Gendo clearly knew that the second impact or something like it could happen, and got the fuck out of Antarctica with all of his research. Very interesting. And he's making too much money. Way too much money. This is a cool shot. There are a lot of cool shots in this episode. This is a cool shot. Everything angled down because that's the direction of this tram. But then they're at an opposing angle to it, you know? Like, the angle between the tops of their helmets is almost exactly the opposite of the angle of the handrails and stuff like that. Very interesting. But it's also natural to the space that Gendo is standing below the stairs and much closer to the camera, so it makes sense for him to be over here. It's really cool. And there's continuity in the shots. You know, we're traveling this way. Traveling this way. I guess for you it's the opposite. It's this direction, right? Like that? Yeah. But there's a nice continuity there that helps us follow the flow. We don't really need to know that they're doing that. It's just nice that we do. Above and beyond. Whether we are or not, determine it for yourself. Okay. It's the best place. Then we meet young Akagi. So why has she dyed her hair in the future? What's the reason for that? Because this is clearly her mother's hair color, and thus her natural hair color. So why has she dyed it blonde? I wonder if it's to distance herself from the mother that she hates. She did profess to not liking her mother very much at one point, right? Probably has something to do with seeing her making out with Gendo. That would turn me off to my mother. This is EVA Unit 00. We get to see its spine. Amazing. Really imaginative. And this framing with them behind the light or in front of the light. And the way that they blur because of just the amount of light coming out of this spotlight thing. It's fantastic. The Atom Revival Project, and this is our mock-up. Work with me to create a new era. Then we get this title card. He was aware that he was still a child. And that's referring to what Shinji says at the end. At least. So we're back to 2015. Misato is young and chipper. She's overcome her trauma, clearly. Then we get these letters between Mitsuko and her mother. Right. She doesn't care. She just doesn't care. So she's already blonde now. Okay. Sleeping with her boyfriend. Can't get to like his frivolous attitude. Yep, that's Kaji. It's awful of me to act like a mother only when it's convenient. Then she stops and thinks, mother. I wonder if that was her idea for the computer. Just like every other day. Third impact will happen in a decade or so without fail. Yikes. And the organizations are meant to stop this. It will be very dangerous to unleash that seal upon the world. What does that mean? I don't know. It's almost as though he is trying to prevent himself from looking at Shinji or Yui. There's an undercurrent of something there. I don't know. I don't know what. No reason for you to become an experimental subject, but I'll do it for Shinji. Seems as though she's fully aware of what she's going to do. Resigned and resolved. Shinji's here. Today is a crucial day. You is the one who brought him. This is your experiment, that's why. I want to show my child the bright future. Those are her last words. So Shinji is there for his mother's death. The irregular circumstances. We're dancing around that. But this is the experiment where she is vaporized or something and turned into the soul within the EVA. Potentially her DNA fused with it, something like that. And Mama Akagi had wished for that. Because she wants Gendo. That adds a layer to things. Interesting that the shadows of these memorial posts form crosses. Some of them do, at least. I wonder if that's intentional. Ikari changed. You're responsible for more than yourself now. And yeah, we get the full Gendo pose. Glasses on. He didn't need glasses before. So why does he have them now? There's no glint in the lenses. And then his mouth is covered and he is resigned and resolved. And sort of hunched over. And he's got this cross coming out of his back. It's very much like my cross to bear sort of thing. Gorgeous shots. So Akagi comes in. So she's forcing her affections onto him without him reciprocating them. Brings Ray. But you have a son. A friend's daughter. Sure about that. Reminds me of Yui. Very much so, and very intentionally so. As we already mentioned, it's the same voice actress. All the files concerning her have been erased, so she's part of something, some kind of experiment. Magi system complete. Scientist, mother, and woman. Now they broke up. Love is not logical, right? Ritsuko is very cold. She leaves, and that's just a way for us to leave Mama alone and have her run into Ray. A mirror image of the woman she hates. Huh? What? You old hack? Oh, but you what? I think it's just like what does she actually say? Basan would be Obasan, be grandmother or old woman. Yeah. Female senior citizen. Old woman. I've never heard it as like old hag though, or with that much venom to it. That's what the director calls you. Nani? That old hag is pushy. I don't need that old hag anymore. See, Bray here is venomous. These color swaps are amazing. I'm calling them color swaps. They're not really. They're a completely different style. Potentially a really early digital effect, but I don't know. Could be actually painted. Those are some bright colors for paint, though. She chokes Ray out. I think we're to assume that she kills this Ray. Especially because of this line, you can always be replaced, just like me. Hell of a shot. The limp dangling hands make me think that she really did kill Ray. That Ray. I think she's a clone of Yui. Right. Akagi dead. So this is interesting. She's dead with the blood splatter on one of the Magi. And this is the place where she was choking Ray out. I wonder if she actually killed Ray and then was killed in turn for doing so, or whether choking Ray out triggered Ray to go crazy beast mode or something and kill her. I guess we just won't know. So Kaji finally chooses to be allied with Ikari over the rest. Interesting. This will cost you your life. I just want to get closer to the truth within myself. What does that mean? Right, they'll know that I diverted the sample. Yeah. This is that shot. You know what? With all this focus on her getting the gun back, I am almost positive that scene, this scene here, which ends with a gunshot, almost certain that she shoots him. And that's why she comes home so distraught. She can't even open the beer. And she gets the message. There's this flower I've been growing. Carry on without me. He knew he would die. I don't know if he knew that it would be by her hands. Shinji knows where it is. He says the truth is with you, not within you. He's talking about the truth within myself. I guess that could be taken as just him saying that he wants to, like, follow his own desires and his own idea of what is true and what is right. It's probably something like that. And then she does an anatabaka, and it's translated as jerk. I don't quite like that. I think fool would have been better there. But that's sort of nitpicking. It works as jerk, but the like, it's not that he's mean or cruel, it's that he's sort of a fool in a certain way. I don't know. They both work. I'm not too hung up about it. And he can't do anything to comfort her. Say anything or reach out. Because he realizes that he's a child. Damn. Whole lot of info dumped there. Not a lot of specifics, a lot of feeling, and a lot of past character motivations. Like, who is Fuyutsuki? Well, he used to be a professor, and got wrapped up in this because of Yui and Gendo. We don't really have all of the answers, just a few pieces of the puzzle for each of the characters. And that makes it compelling and makes you want more, want the full picture. Because the little pieces are so interesting. You have to imagine that the whole thing will be even more so. Really good episode. Strong in joy, much like. Very good. This was very different from any episode that's come before it. They didn't feel like there was any direct movement forward in the plot, partly because a lot of the episode's content was in the past, filling in gaps in our memory. But I think that's good. I think this signals that we're going to start moving into serious endgame territory. Because we're getting all of this sort of backstory exposition stuff out of the way so that we don't have to deal with it in depth when things are going on. We can just touch on it and mention it and have it as context. So this feels like the calm exposition dump before the storm, if that makes sense. We shall see. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been EVA. Episode 21. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.